Sorry about that. I don't know. I got this new computer and the damn thing keeps freezing if you don't move the cursor around continually. I don't know why it does that. We were at one day at a time, and I'm going to give that a 6.5. It's not a bad song. It's not a great song. We go on to song number 5 on side 1, which is Bring On Lucy, Free to People, parentheses again in the title. So John Lennon's slogan song, I guess, like "Give Peace a Chance" and all those other slogan songs of his. But just love the sound of this. It's just upbeat, glorious bunch of racket. Doesn't amount to much, but makes for a really good listen and a really good time. So I'm gonna give "Bring On Lucy" a 9.5. It's just a good, rocking, fun little track that's just a joy to listen to. Side 1 ends with the 6th song, which is the Utopian National Anthem, which 3 seconds of silence, basically. It's the only Beatles song that I can sing really well, Beatle or solo Beatles song or any song, but I can sing it really well. It's 3 seconds of silence. So I think it was on Life with the Lines that they had the track 2 minutes of silence. Well, that was just too much. That was all overblown, all over the place. Utopian National Anthem is really succinct, gets right down to it and makes its point and gets out of there. I give it credit for that. I would like to hear the mono version to compare it to the stereo version. I don't know if they made a mono version of this album, but it'd be nice to compare the two. And just John doesn't waste time, makes his point. I'm going to give Utopian National Anthem, what the hell, let's give it a 10 because someone's got to. Might as well be me. And so, with that blockbuster of an ending to the first side, we move to the second side. We get the first song is Intuition, which is got a cheesy, dated early 70s sound. It's almost catchy song, but it just doesn't quite make it. It almost gets there, but just not quite. It's got more of that damn annoying 70s sax, that sort of Saturday Night Live theme song sax that I've never liked. Saxophone's okay if it's used right, but the way it was used in the 70s and then in the 80s, that sort of beer commercial sound sax, I never did like that, either one of those. But this is one of the songs, Intuition. I never can remember it when I pull this album out for a listen. I'm like, how the hell does that go again? Then when I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's that song. I remember it. It's not really very good song. It's almost kind of like a second-rate Ray Davies lyric. It's not very good. It tries though. It gives it its best shot, and it's a little bit endearing for that. So I'll go ahead and give Intuition a 6. It's not a great song, but I guess we'll let it hang around. Now things pick up a lot with the second song on side 2, which is Out the Blue. Good John Lennon ballad. Now, good old Joe, Mean Mr. Mayo, always likes to kid me about my distaste for My Love, song that I don't like because it's crap. Uh, just, this sticky sweet Hallmark card greeting, fake plastic sentiment, third rate, Barry Manilow nonsense. Something that I think Paul wrote strictly because he had been critically lambasted for McCartney, Ram, and especially Wildlife, and I think that he said, shit, I better write something commercial quick. And so he threw together that slop, and sure enough, it went to number 1. God knows why, because it's a terrible song. But anyway, I'm getting off the beaten path here. But my good friend Joe will sometimes say, I don't see how you could not like My Love because you've said before some other Paul McCartney or Beatles or whoever ballad that you like. And so if you like those ballads, I don't understand how you don't like My Love. Well, you can like a ballad here and you can not like this ballad. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. All that's a big roundabout way to say Then in the ballad department, My Love gets it totally wrong, in my opinion. I always got to say that because people get mad if I don't, as if I'm going to say in the guy down the street's opinion. I never got that either. But anyway, Out the Blue gets it totally right, because here's a ballad that's very genuine, heartfelt, emotional, raw, and just the real thing, and touching and beautiful. Piano kicks in after acoustic guitars. It's a really good love song. It's good that, because a lot of times John will do these songs, Yoko and Me, Oh Yoko, and etc., Yoko this, Yoko that, which I love the song Oh Yoko, by the way, off Imagine, but I like the fact that Out the Blue, he's obviously singing about Yoko, and that's fine, but he keeps it universal. He doesn't name her, just like the Beatles did all the time with I Want to Hold Your Hand, and a lot of those songs where you could apply it to yourself, the girl of your dreams, or your wife or girlfriend or whatever. So I like that it's got that universal quality to it, even though you know it's about Yoko, and that's fine. That's a good thing. Um, so it's this should have been a single. This is one of the best songs on the album. I'm going to give it a 10. It's just a really great ballad, and John always did ballads really well. If I Fell and things like that, when he took the time to do them, you usually think of him as sort of the guy yelling the slogans, or the hard guy, or the angry guy, or whatever. But when he did the ballads, he did them well, and this is one of his best. Out the Blue should have been a single. It's a number 10. And again, I'm really surprised, thinking back on it, that Mind Games is the only song off this album that I ever heard on the radio back then, or even afterwards. I've heard some of these songs on the Beatles channel, of course, but that's decades later. Great song, great song. So where are we going now? Song number 3 is Only People. Energetic, somewhat catchy song. Nothing really great. I like the ending part of it. Kind of reminds me, but it's nowhere near as good as some of the songs on Between the Buttons by the Rolling Stones. Sort of the ending part reminds me of the same vibe as some of those songs on that album, which that album is way better than this song. But Only People, so-so song. I'm going to give it a 6. It's just okay. Fourth song, we got more parentheses. I Know. Got a country rock sound. Going for a big, sprawling, broad, big sky ballad. Doesn't quite succeed, but it's still a nice song. I always think of this as sort of a distant cousin to Two of Us off the Let It Be album. I think Two of Us is a better song. But I Know falls a little short. I still like it quite a bit. I'm going to give it an 8. You Are Here is the next song. It's got a kind of a Caribbean, Hawaiian vibe to it. Too laid back, too close to 70s soft rock, 70s yacht rock, stuff that I never liked. Jimmy Buffett, Jim Croce, that sort of stuff. I guess it's pretty, but when I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, this song really sucks, and can this really be the same guy that wrote Rain and Day Tripper and Don't Let Me Down and Ticket to Ride? So You Were Here, weakest song on the album. I give it a 3 because it's probably doesn't deserve that, but I'll be nice and give it a 3. So I think that ends. No, it doesn't. We got one more song, the flip side of the single, Meat City. It's a great one. It's a great closer for the album. It's just sort of a funky rocker. It's dated in a 70s way, but dated in a good way, not dated in the pejorative way. It's a really great song. I love the little squeaky voice that goes in there, that when you play it backwards, it says, if you play the single backwards in that part, it says go see the album, I think, or see the album. If you play the album version backwards, it tells you to do something with a pig that I'd rather not do with a pig. Maybe if it would have said do that with Jenna Coleman, I'd have been yay, hey. Anyway, Meat City is great rocker, great way to close the album. I'm going to give that a 10. So we got 3 10s on this album. That's pretty good. Overall, I'm going to give this album an 8. This is not the original copy that I bought back in 1976 or 77. I don't know what became of that, but this is one I got later. The Joyce owned sometime between me. So if you're watching, Joyce, I got your album. You can't have it back. Sorry. Happy Easter, everybody. I'll be back with Walls and Bridges up next, and we're chugging through Lennon albums. We only got a few more to go. Take care.